I want to especially thank our co-lead pastor and our lead pastor for this special opportunity. Remain ever blessed. I stand in awe before words even found permission to form. Because how do we define the one who defined eternity itself? He was never introduced, never announced. He simply is. Before timeline sequence, he was eternity without interruption. Before light received instruction, he was brightness without source. And yet, we call him names, not to reduce him, but because language is struggling to carry revelation. God, a word too small for the weight he carries, yet still near sound to majesty. Olodumare, the owner of existence, the one who holds destinies without strains. Chukwu, the great spirit, uncontained by space or thought. Oh, he is the most merciful, whose mercy does not compete with his authority. And across every tongue that has ever surrendered to him in prayer, he answers without needing translation. The one who sits upon the circles of the earth, the balm of Gilead, the one who dwells in an unapproachable light, the one who calls stars by name and the answer, the God who holds oceans in his hands, the God who holds galaxies in the hollows of his hand, the God that existed before he began, the God who shone his beauty on righteousness and justice, the God too deep for language and too vast for definition, Jehovah Jireh. When provision is absent in sight, he becomes supply in reality. Jehovah Rapha, when knowledge ends, healing begins at his command. The El Shaddai, all-sufficient one, complete without assistance. He's not reacting to history, he's writing it. Not negotiating with time, he governs it. Not threatened by impossibility, he defines what is possible. He's older than eternity, yet fresher than tomorrow morning. He does not improve because past cannot be upgraded. Mountains do not resist him, they realign under his presence. Oceans do not question him, they obey his boundaries. Death does not debate, it obeys without appeal. About the Oba or Oba. The Asatuorun. The Omega Naya. We're talking about the King of Glory. Oh, who is this King of Glory? The Lord strong and mighty. The Lord mighty in battle. And yet, this God is not distant. He knows man intimately, not collectively, not generally, individually. It is significantly insignificant that he doesn't see me as a face in creation, but as a thought he never misplaced. So I stand in exalted assurance, anchored in revelation. I walk in what can only be defined as miraculous inevitability, the certainty that God's nature overrides impossibility. Even when I cannot see him, I do not question his wisdom. Even when I cannot interpret his ways, I do not question his sovereignty. Because a God this vast does not need interpretation to remain trustworthy. So I bow in not in weakness, but in recognition that finite understanding cannot contain infinite majesty. Alpha, before beginning vocabulary. Omega, beyond ending that tries to define closure. He's a God who was, who is, and who remains unexhausted by time. And I do not merely believe in him. I surrender into him. And that is enough. Thank you.